Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Sportschat with DJ Matt. I'm DJ Matt, as always. DJ Echo's here. Yeah, it's a beautiful Tuesday. Beautiful Tuesday. So, get your yearbooks, guys. Your yearbooks are in. Today they'll be distributed, I believe, at the Union. So today, tomorrow, and Thursday, the Union, they will have yearbooks. 10 a.m. until 2. So you have about 4 hours to get your yearbooks today. 10 a.m. to 2. Just pick it up. It's already paid for. You need your Colonel ID, and you need to know your Nichols number. That's important. All right. And also, it also says here, yearbooks are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 3 in Talbot Hall, room 102. So I guess if you can't make it to the Union, the Talbot should have it, I guess, as well. So yeah. So that's a little thing off the top that we're gonna get into. So before we get into any sports news, I read two things yesterday that made me go, wow, this world is crazy. Number one, so a wildfire broke out in California because of a gender reveal.
Yep.
It's not funny, but it's fun.
Some pyrotechnics going wrong.
See, okay, here's I'm not against gender reveal parties. I'm really not. I think it's a great thing. But see me, I would like to be surprised when the baby's born. You know what I mean? I feel like that'd be more joyful. Like, oh my God, you know? Other than knowing beforehand.
I know what you mean, but it's like...
I mean, I get it. I totally get it. Like, I'm not against it at all. But, like, I feel like if your gender reveal party causes a fire, I think you went too far.
Yeah, I mean, people are taking it too far. It's just like, keep it simple, you know, just...
Yeah.
Pull one of those confetti things,
yeah, that's
but
all
it's
you need.
Blue or pink confetti.
Yeah. Also, another thing I read, real quick. Denver. About Denver. This made me blow my mind. So Denver was experiencing, it's still summer, right? It's still like in the season of summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still summer. So Denver's having like 90-degree days, 100-degree days, you know, like kind of like what we're having, you know, summer weather. So apparently now, and like tomorrow or something, or the next day or two, they got like a snow warning.
It is Denver.
That's crazy to me. We're like snow in summer. Imagine wearing tank tops and shorty shorts, and then like the next day you have to wear like 5 layers to go outside. So you can't tell me global warming doesn't exist. Global warming exists, because that stuff doesn't happen normally. I'm sorry, like, that's crazy to me.
Well, I don't know. Look at us. I mean, one day we'll be like 90 degrees. The next day it'll be like thunderstorm, you know?
True.
And the next day it'll be like 60-degree weather, and then the next day we're back to 90 degrees, you know?
You know how you know it's going to rain pretty soon down here? Is if it's like very like humid and hot, you can expect rain in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get good at that. I'm like, oh, it's humid out here? Yeah, it's going to rain.
I don't know about me, but whenever I'm outside and then the wind starts picking up suddenly, I'm like, it's about to rain.
It's about to rain. Absolutely right. This is Sportschat with DJ Matt. 91.5 Kansas City local alternative. I'm DJ Matt, DJ Echo. And if you missed any part of the show is on YouTube, although the end of it might not be.
Lord.
Yeah, YouTube cut off the other video. So, sorry, you missed the Steve Nash reactions from last week, unless you're...
Which is probably for the best, considering, you know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought originally. I was like, well, at least that part's out of it. But you know, so I don't know what YouTube's gonna do this time. Hopefully, the whole video's up on there. So the whole show will be on YouTube. All things considered, and follow us on Instagram at Sportschat with DJ Matt 1 for all the latest updates on the show. So let's get into some NFL stuff. So I was gonna start with Jadavian Clowney because I have a rant about that, but I'm gonna get into Deshaun Watson first. I think I can segue from Deshaun Watson into Jadavian Clowney since whatever. So Deshaun Watson signs a 4-year extension with the Texans. Well deserved, deserves all the money he gets. But I'm telling you, man, I was thinking about this last night, and I was thinking, so the Bears passed up on Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. That's been noted because Mr. Trubisky is not what we thought he was going to be. So I was thinking, this is something I had in my mind. I was like, if I was Deshaun Watson, I wouldn't have signed an extension. I would have went to free agency because I think Houston is just mismanaging everything, honestly, in terms of other people on the team. Like, you trade DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, that tells me you're not really wanting to win right now. And if I'm Deshaun Watson, don't waste my career because you're an idiot, GM, you know? But I was thinking, so if Mr. Trubisky doesn't perform this year, right, you can bet Mr. Trubisky is not going to be there next year. Because I think this is his last year, too, on his deal. They didn't extend him, so this is his last year. So if he doesn't do good, he's going to be out. Nick Foles is not going to be your longtime starter in Chicago. That's not going to happen. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He could be there for a couple of years, but that's not going to be your actual long-term plan. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be crazy? Deshaun Watson goes to free agency. they let go of Mitchell Trubisky, and let's say they trade Foles again. Now they need a quarterback. Imagine Deshaun Watson in Chicago. That would have been like, make it right, you know? I was just thinking that last night. Like, that'd be interesting. Because I'm telling you right now, they're wasting Khalil Mack's career, by the way. They're wasting him, which is a shame.
Well, anybody that's good on the defense.
Exactly. And their offense ain't that bad. They have some good players on that offense. But it's the quarterback position that they really need to fix. And Mitchell Trubisky being the starter, I'm like, I figured that was going to happen. But it's not going to last long. I mean, I give it like 3 or 4 weeks and Nick Foles is going to be in there. I don't see how Mitchell Trubisky stays the starter. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if Deshaun Watson would go to free agency, Chicago would be a team that would be right on his doorstep. You know? Giving him probably the same money that Houston gave him. And it's in a franchise that has a better chance of winning, I think, in the next couple of years. With the right quarterback. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. But he deserves every penny in Houston. You know what I mean? Good for Houston for keeping him, but I don't know. That franchise to me doesn't seem like it's ready to win.
No, it really doesn't. And it's a shame because, you know, they've been to the playoffs the last couple of years. They just had early exits. And then, of course, getting rid of Hopkins. And, yeah, I just don't know what they're going to do this year, especially with the Colts in the division now picking up. And the Titans, of course.
Yeah, and the Titans getting David Clowney.
Yeah, which is wild. Whenever you look at what really happened, which, you know, we're upset about the thing, but with reports that are coming out now, it's probably a good thing that the NFL didn't approve the signing trade. So if you don't know what's going on, Jadeveon Clowney, played for the Texans, played for the Seahawks, was a free agent this year. Said that he wanted to play for a contender and wanted a large amount of money, which not the sum that he was originally asking for, but what he got now, I think he's worth. He's a very good player. He went unsigned mostly throughout free agency. You know, he was only signed last night. So reports are coming out that the Saints tried to pull off the first sign and trade in NFL history. Of course, we see that a lot in the NBA, but that has not made it yet to the NFL. So what we wanted to do would have been to swap a draft pick and a player with another team that would have agreed to foot the bill against the salary cap for free agency. Because if you don't know, we don't have any salary cap.
Yeah, we're not good at salary cap right now.
We have 0, but we were still trying to pick them up. And we were gonna try and, you know, trade. I don't know what player we were gonna swap.
I don't know.
With.
I really don't know. That's a good question.
A draft pick, probably either a second.
It was gonna be a second round pick.
Second, yeah. But now we're having reports. Well, that the NFL office didn't approve such the deal. They didn't approve it. But then, if that would have been permissible, right? If the sign and trade would have been okay, what would have happened is the Jacksonville Jaguars would have signed Jadeveon Clowney and then traded them to, guess who? The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
So
there were some deals on the table.
It's probably good that he went to Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a good situation for him. I'm not going to deny that.
But for the rest of the league, because right now there is a possibility, there is an alternate universe right now where Jadeveon Clowney is a Baltimore Raven.
Which I wouldn't hate either, honestly.
I wouldn't hate either, but I think they already.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with this whole thing. And like I said, I'm happy he's in Tennessee. Tennessee with a good defense already. You add him. That, you know, Tennessee, that's a good deal. That's a good situation. I'm happy for him. That's a great place for him to be. I totally am okay with him going to Tennessee. But here's the deal. If this was any other team besides the Saints that tried the sign and trade thing, they would have accepted it. If it was Tampa Bay trying to do it, if it was New England trying to do it, if it was LA trying to do it, they would have let it go. They would have made it happen. But because it was the Saints, and Roger Goodell always wants to mess with us, you know, so they denied for us. You know, like, Roger Goodell, stay out of our business, please. Let us, like, if the two teams both agree to the terms of the trade, to me, the NFL shouldn't have anything to do with it. Let them make the trade.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I honestly, you should just let the teams do the things. I mean, as long as they're not, like, trading away their entire team. Yeah. But I don't think that they're going to do that.
It was a reasonable trade to me. And then you got Tampa Bay that's getting buku players. They got Leonard Fournette last week. All these other players. It's like they're building almost like an equivalent to a super team almost in Tampa Bay. It's pretty close. And New Orleans in the same division. It's like, well, why can't we get good play? Why can't we do something to get us a good player? It's like you're kind of screwing us over here, you know. Roger Goodell needs to stay out of our business. Roger Goodell, I'm telling you, when he's no longer the commissioner, I'm throwing a big party. I'm gonna have a Roger Goodell pinata. We're gonna have a big shindig because this dude is the worst commissioner I've ever seen. Although Rob Manfred's a pretty close second in baseball, he's pretty bad too. But Roger Goodell, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, stay out of our business, man. Let us do what we gotta do to win, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, and I remember at the beginning of, well, not at the beginning, but I think the middle of free agency, people were talking like Jalen Clowney might go to the Saints. I was like, oh Lord, and then I looked at a cap space, and I was like, oh Lord, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And then the reports come out that the Saints were still the front runners to sign him, with trying to sign a trade, and all of a sudden he goes to Tennessee. I'm like,
yeah, you know what too? Some people out there think like the NFL is fixed and the NBA is fixed and all that, which it's to some point I'll say is true in this regard. Does the NFL show favoritism and teams get other benefits that other teams don't? Yes, absolutely. This is a good example because the Saints with that no call, if that would happen in the NBA, I bet you they would have replayed the rest of that game. They would have redone that game in the NBA. Probably.
And this is the thing. It's not even like it was a whole quarter. It was the last 2 minutes of a game.
Exactly. So the NFL does play favorites toward the Patriots. How many times have the Patriots cheated and really nothing happened to them?
Well, I mean, it's happening to the Buccaneers now. It must be Tom Brady, not necessarily the Patriots, because now the Buccaneers are getting all these players.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And you look at other teams like the Cowboys. Nothing bad happens to the Cowboys. It's always the same. It's always the same. No matter what it is, it's the most minute thing, but it's always the Saints. It's like, give us a break, man. Like, okay, so we have Bountygate, which was total stupidity anyway. Like that, really, that wasn't even nothing. That wasn't even cheating. That's called playing football. It's not being a wuss. It's called getting hit. It's called being a football player. Okay. So if you're still mad over Bountygate, you can get over yourself, Roger Goodell.
Yeah. Well, look, this is something, and this is just something to leave you with. And I don't know if you think like this, but this is something that I think of. That year, whenever that whole Saints-Rams thing went down, who was getting ready to have a new stadium?
Rams.
At the end of the day, the NFL is a business.
Right.
They have to make money. They're putting out all this money to build a new stadium. What better way to sell season tickets than for the Rams to go to a Super Bowl?
Well, if that's their scenario, then have the Chargers win a Super Bowl, for God's sake. They have no fans. Let them win a Super Bowl. No, but New Orleans has one of the most dedicated fan bases of any sports team anywhere. Like, people fear coming to the Superdome because of the fans, right? Because it's so loud in there. So you have your most dedicated fan base. Like, I'm telling you, the Saints sell out almost every game, I want to say. Like, they sell out.
Yeah, I've been to a couple Saints games, and it's very hard to find rows of seats.
Yeah. So, wouldn't it be nice to reward one of your fan bases with at least a chance to win a Super Bowl? And, don't screw us over and, give us a chance to win.
I don't know. Honestly, they just shouldn't step in for anything. They shouldn't give us a chance. They should just stop stepping into the league. Just be the front office. Don't step into anything.
And Roger Goodell, he mismanaged so many things. Whatever you feel about the Colin Kaepernick situation, he mismanaged that. No matter how you feel about it, if you agree with Colin Kaepernick or not, you can't disagree he mismanaged that whole thing.
Well, I don't think Colin Kaepernick is complaining because at this point he probably never has to play a game of football again.
Nah, he makes money off of that.
He's making enough money off of that and his name right now, so he doesn't need to play football again.
But Goodell mismanaged that. Remember whenever Ray Rice had that domestic violence incident, all these players getting domestic violence problems? He mismanaged that as well. And look, I love Josh Gordon. He's a good player, and he's dealing with problems. But this is the 5th time he's being reinstated by the NFL. At some point, you gotta say, look, man, you're done. You know what I mean? I hate to say it because I like Josh Gordon, but at some point, you gotta set an example. You know?
Yeah, I agree, and I think Josh Gordon honestly is going through some stuff right now.
Absolutely, and I wish him nothing but the best.
But I do agree. It's this is like you said, his 5th time, something like that, being reinstated, and it's at what point is what's the limit of violations that you can have? Because obviously we don't know.
Yeah.
I would think it's 3. I would think after 3 violations, hey, sorry, bud, you can't be in the league anymore.
At some point, you got to make an example. At some point, you got to lay down the law, and you can't come back. That's just the point of being fair.
Yeah.
If it was any other player, it probably wouldn't happen. again, favoritism. They show favoritism. It's ridiculous. It's rigged in that standpoint. The game's not necessarily rigged, but like.
Yeah, I know. The people are like, oh, the people in Las Vegas are setting up the games. It's like, no, people in Las Vegas are not.
You think they're that smart to do that?
They're betting on the games, but they're not setting up the games. I mean, if you're setting up the games, what's the fun in betting on them?
Yeah, I mean, you win money.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think that there's. I mean, I don't have a gambling problem, but I think that there's like a fun in like.
Yeah.
You have the chance to lose if you know what the outcome is. What's the fun in it?
I'm still scared of gambling. I would bet $1. That's it. I'm not betting more than $1. I don't trust myself.
You know what? I'll gamble, but it has to be calculated. I will not just walk up to something that I've never seen before in my life. Like, I'll put $20 on. Like, I would never gamble on horse racing.
No, horse racing is totally.
I would never gamble on that. Now, like a football game, that would be something. If it would just be like who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, like that would be something that I would bet on. You know, basketball,
right.
but horse racing and those are not things that I would bet on. You know.
Right. So Ryan Fitzpatrick is now going to start over Tua, which I expected. But I think, I wouldn't be surprised we see Tua. I think Tua might play week 1, a snap or two. I can see them shuffling him in a little bit. Like, he's going to play. Tua's going to play this year. I have no doubt about that.
I think what needs to happen with Tua is kind of what happened with Drew Lock last year, is towards the end of the season, whenever it's obvious that the Dolphins aren't going to make the playoffs and all the games are pretty much meaningless.
Right.
The only thing that you can gain out of it is a draft pick, because obviously we know that the Dolphins are going to do this. I would put in Tua a couple games, see how he does, because by that point he will have almost, about a half a season under his belt to learn the offense, to see how it's run in a game, to see how actual NFL games are run, because these guys, college and NFL, are two different things. So I think that putting him in a position like Drew Lock only played 4 games at the end of the season, and I don't remember what his record was whenever he played those 4 games.
I don't know either, but it wasn't that bad of a record.
Yeah, I think it was either 2 or 2 or something. But anyway, do something like that, and now you see Drew Lock, who's ready to be the starter over the coronavirus. He studied the pandemic. He studied the playbook, so he's ready to go now. The Denver offense is looking almost as good as the Denver defense, because everybody knows that, since a long time ago, since they won the Super Bowl, the defense has been the main selling point of that team. Their offense is looking pretty good now, and that's because you give your rookie quarterbacks time to sit behind, learn the offense, learn how NFL games go, and then if you want to play them a couple games and be smart about it so they don't get hurt, go ahead. That's what I would say. Let Ryan Fitzpatrick play most of the whole season, and the last 4 or 5 games of the season, you can play Tua, because by that point you will have been eliminated from playoff.
I saw something yesterday. I think there's somebody on Colin Cowherd's show, and he did his playoff predictions. And I think he had the Dolphins winning the division, or he had the Dolphins in the playoffs or something. And I forgot what other team he had in there that wasn't gonna make it. I forgot what other team it was.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville's gonna win the Super Bowl.
It was another team. I was like, it was the Raiders. It was the Raiders. It was the Raiders and Dolphins made it. And I was like, I like the Raiders. I like the Dolphins a lot. They're on their way, but I'm like,
there's too many teams in the AFC that are gonna beat them out.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, with what you're saying about Tua and Fitzpatrick. The Miami next year is not this year, but next year I think is going to be a really good team. I expect Tua to be everything that we think of them. Like, he's going to be great. Also, Cam Newton, which I don't know why people are surprised by this, but Cam Newton is going to be the starter in New England. I knew that when they signed him. I don't know why ESPN was throwing this narrative like it's a big quarterback competition and all that. Like, come on, like, stop playing with me. I knew from day one Cam was going to be the starter.
Yeah, the only way that it wouldn't have been a quarterback competition if Cam went out there and looked terrible. That's the only way that it would have been a quarterback competition.
Yeah.
But whenever they saw him play the first day, they're like, he's going to be our starter. We're just going to wait to announce it.
In all fairness to Jared Stiff, but here's the deal. You're going to take a quarterback that's basically in his prime. MVP, a guy who already won MVP, who's in his prime, more than likely, he's healthy, or Jared Stiff.
Who has barely played any NFL.
Who are you taking?
I think I'm going to take that MVP guy.
Cam Newton could be the quarterback in New England for the next 5 years, honestly, if he wanted to. I think it's a good situation, and as what I'm hearing is that him and Bill are getting along, which is very important actually, especially for that team. If your quarterback, if they can get along, then I think this team is gonna go.
Well, by all accounts, right now, Cam Newton is first guy in, last guy out right now.
Yeah. Which is huge.
I forget who it was. I think it was one of the McCourty brothers that said this. They were like, "We leave late." And I don't see Cam leave that that room. They're like, we think he lives there.
Yeah.
But yeah, good on Cam.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, because I'm not a big Cam Newton fan, obviously, but I think it's good on him right now because whenever he was signed, I was one of those people like, how is he going to fit in with the Patriots' way of being business, strictly business?
Right.
Because that seems to be the Patriots model. Like all the other teams, there's like time for fun, but it seems like Patriots 24/7 strictly business. You know, I mean that's why they have so many Super Bowls. But credit where credit's due. Cam Newton is taking that approach. You know, being in there, doing the work. So I gotta hand it to him.
Yeah, Cam's a good candidate for comeback player of the year. There's a lot of good candidates this year for comeback player. You got Cam. I think you got Big Ben. Obviously, is a big one. Who else? There's somebody else.
I think if Todd Gurley does really good this season, he can maybe win.
Todd Gurley, that's one. Yeah.
But he has to do good, you know.
Yeah. They got some out there that would be a good comeback player of the year. The Falcons are interesting. Bringing up the Falcons. The Falcons are interesting. Like their team, like the last couple of years, where it's like they got a good team. It's not like they don't. It's just putting it together. And I don't know if it's the head coaching problem or it's like I don't know what's going on. Because it's not Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's playing really well, and Julio Jones is still balling. And it's just I don't know. I don't know. It's just a team that should work, but it doesn't.
I don't know. Whenever I think about the defense, I just don't think about like outside of Deion Jones, a lot of guys I don't on that defense.
Yeah.
That and I think that's the thing because you see Atlanta lose a lot of close games. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, any other big football news? Oh, I guess we can talk about Alvin Kamara. He still hasn't been signed yet by the Saints. But he said that he never held out. He said that like he was still like his back flare up or something. So like he kind of sat out those couple of days. So he said he never technically held out, which I mean take that as you want.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think he held out, but also he was hurt. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, he was probably hurt. He was like, well, this is an opportunity to get what I want.
Yeah, but I think though I want to say that they're getting close to the deal. Hopefully by this week they get it done.
But you got a guy inside the organization.
What?
You got a guy inside the organization that knows?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like they, I don't know. It seems like they're close on a deal. I expect him to play week 1, regardless. Actually, I think they're gonna get a deal done. I'm confident. It's just how much and because like you said, we don't really have a good salary cap. Which is probably a good thing we didn't sign Clowney. I feel like that would have been like a stab to Kamara. Like, hey, we can pay Clowney, but we can't pay you.
Yeah, we either have the worst cap in the league or the second worst cap space in the league.
Yeah. But what the Saints are doing is they're all in because they're trying to win a Super Bowl for Drew retires. That's all that's about. So, like, the next couple of years, we're going to be, like, good thing we have Thomas and hopefully Kamara. Like, we're going to have some of these guys still here, but we're going to have trouble getting free agents because we have bad salary cap.
Yeah, I saw an article that was like, oh, the Saints have, like, the second worst cap space in the league, but does it even matter? I was like, no, it doesn't matter because we're not set up to win in the next 5 years. We're set up to win this year.
And even when Drew retires after this year and like next year, if it's Taysom, even if it's Jameis, whatever, we're still going to be a pretty good football team. Like we're still going to be, I think, a playoff team next year, even without Drew and whoever. Yeah. Because like we still have enough. Like we're going to retain Thomas. We still have Jordan, I think.
Well,
we should still have mostly our core guys should still be around after Drew's gone for a couple of years, I think.
Right.
So we'll still be a decent football team. We should still be making playoff runs. But like saying that we're Super Bowl contenders, that might be a little bit far fetched after this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Jameis will step in and become this all-world quarterback.
Possible. It's very possible.
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of guys. I saw NFL memes today posted about Nick Foles paying him like $12 million when he could have gotten like Jameis Winston or Cam Newton for like much cheaper.
Yeah.
They were like, Jameis Winston's terrible. It's like, and they're like the Saints took a big L signing Jameis Winston. It's like you guys do realize that like we got him for barely anything, and he's not even starting.
Yeah, and we only have him because if Drew gets hurt, he's gonna step in like kind of like he's gonna be the Teddy Bridgewater for us. That's gonna be his role. Yeah. And he's got, like I said, he's got a good chance if like I said, Drew retires more than likely at the end of this year. If Jameis does have to step in for Drew and he plays well, that job might be his. And Taysom, I feel bad for Taysom. I love Taysom, but I don't know if he's the guy. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the problem. It's like, I think Taysom has overplayed his hand too much because he's saying, "Oh, I want to be a quarterback. I want to be a quarterback." Then tell that to Sean Payton because what Sean Payton is using you for, you're not a quarterback.
Yeah.
And whenever other teams are going to want you, guess what? They're not going to want you as a quarterback. They're going to want you as a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, a punt specialist, a kick specialist. Like, that's what they're going to want you as. They're not going to want Taysom Hill, the quarterback. Even though Taysom Hill, the quarterback, is very much a thing, we have seen flashes of it. The overwhelming amount of tape on Taysom Hill, and you want to know why Taysom Hill is so popular amongst the league? Because of the things that he's doing. Because he told Sean Payton, I don't care what I do, I just want to play.
At that point, yeah. And no, like Tommy Stevens, the quarterback we drafted, I think in the 7th round or 6th round, they moved him to tight end. He's on the practice squad right now.
Yeah.
He's the backup Taysom Hill, because if Taysom Hill goes down, we're going to use Tommy Stevens as Taysom Hill. I mean, so we have a backup for Drew, we have a backup for Taysom. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's
it sucks because I feel bad for Taysom.
I do too.
But I think what Taysom did by saying that, he ushered in a new era for positionless football.
Yeah, he's better off just moving to tight end, honestly, or moving to some other position on offense. Because, like, QB just ain't where you're going to be, bro. And that's why I wish we would have had preseason. I would have loved to have seen Jameis in preseason, see how he would look in this offense. And for Taysom to maybe get some tape on him and maybe give him a chance at maybe not with New Orleans, maybe another place to be a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have loved preseason just for that, but we didn't have that. But it is what it is. So, college football is going on right now, actually. Last night was BYU and Army, I think. And I watched the game. I think it was Saturday night. I watched the game. It was Arkansas State and it was Memphis.
Some riveting football going on right now.
Actually, you know, it's not like the top colleges playing, but like it's entertaining enough.
I mean, I'm saying that those people would play much better than I would. You know?
I want to say SEC is getting ready to start this weekend.
Yeah.
So
good on SEC because whenever all the conferences were like saying we're not going to play,
yeah.
SEC was like, no, we're playing, and then now some of the bigger conferences are saying, you know what, we'll figure out a way to play. So good on the SEC.
So college football is around in some degree. Football starts Thursday night. Texans at Chiefs. Should be a good game. I got Chiefs by 10, but you know it is what it is.
Well, yeah, I think it might have been a closer game, but you know the Texans are the Texans.
I mean, with no preseason, you gotta think that Chiefs offense is gonna pick up right where they left off, and the Texans, you know, now they don't have DeAndre Hopkins.
Only thing they're gonna get better with, you know, their new running back addition. Yeah,
real talk. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive into the NBA playoffs. This is Sportschat DJ Matt on 905 KNC to go.
Like tonight, we might see the exit of the Milwaukee Bucks.
And Giannis is going to play hurt.
He is going to play?
I think he's going to try to play.
You know what, though? I think that's a better image of Giannis than I think anybody could have seen because he played through the injury. And, if he's going to play through it again, I mean, I'm not saying that his stock is going to go up, but, you know.
No, but that's very disappointing for the Bucks, though. Like,
I mean, they still won. They still won that one game, but I mean, right now it doesn't even matter.
3-1. They were up down 3-0. Like, there's no way they're winning this series. I'm sorry, there's no way. Like, they'd be the first team in history to come back from 3-0. There's no way they're winning that. There's no way. I'm sorry. Giannis is all but gone, bro. I mean,
I feel bad for Milwaukee because they're about to go from finals contenders to.
I heard that they were going to try to trade for Chris Paul maybe to kind of keep Giannis around next season, but I wouldn't make that trade. I'd let Giannis walk, honestly. Just let him go because, you know.
There's not much that they can do.
You don't want him to be unhappy.
Apparently the two front runners are Toronto and Celtics. Heat. No.
Yeah.
Heat and
Boston won last night, so they're up 3-2 against Toronto. I think it's going to be Boston Heat in the conference finals. Yeah. That's an interesting conference finals.
I think the Raptors can make it go to 7, though.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But dude, imagine if he went to the finals. That's like interesting. Like, man, that's pretty good on the Heat. I gotta tell you. No one expected that.
Yeah.
We kind of guessed it, but like.
Well, we said if anybody could beat the Bucks, it'd be the Heat, and I mean.
But between Heat and Celtics, I don't know who would win that. I think that'd be a 7-game series.
Well, I think the problem with the Heat and Celtics is that they're not based around one or two people. They're the team. It's the team with them.
Which is very interesting.
And I think that they're built the right way. Because you look at the super teams, usually whenever the super teams, like, they didn't have good supporting roles. But the thing with these guys, you have not top-tier superstars, but, like, mid-tier superstars with Jimmy Butler for the Heat and then Jason Tatum for the Celtics. And then you put really good guys around them because they're not going to need as much money as a LeBron, as an Anthony Davis, as a Kawhi, you know, as a Giannis. Of course, if the Heat pick up the Giannis, then...
it's over.
Yeah. Heat's winning the finals for the next couple of years. So I don't know. Giannis needs to go to a team that he fits in. Because if he went to the Raptors, him and Pascal Siakam would be fighting for power forward. Because they're both technically power forwards.
And we are back with Sportschat with DJ Matt here on 9.5 KNSU Thibodeau, your local alternative. If you missed any part of the show, go to our YouTube at Sportschat with DJ Matt on YouTube. Or the show will be uploaded later tonight. Hopefully not. Last night the show uploaded at not last night, the other night, Thursday night it uploaded at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So that was fun. Why does it upload so freaking slow? That's aggravating.
That's a longer video. The longer the video is, the harder it is to process.
Yeah.
I mean,
technology should be better than this.
Yeah, but you gotta understand. I don't know if you've ever looked at this, but like the amount of videos that get uploaded to YouTube every single day.
That's true.
And you gotta understand, this video is not being processed for like one computer. This video is being processed to every single computer that has access to YouTube.
Yeah, so there's no excuse for you not watching the show. Anyway.
That's right.
So go on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Sportschat with DJ Matt, to see the rest of the show if you missed any part of it. Follow us on Instagram at Sportschat with DJ Matt 1. Get your yearbooks, guys. Yearbooks are in. It's already paid for. Just pick it up, 10 a.m. until 2. Bring your Colonel ID, know your Nichols number, all that stuff. You can find it, I guess, in the Student Union today, tomorrow, and Thursday in the Student Union. And also here in Talbot from 9 to 3 in room 102 in Talbot to get your yearbooks. That's weird. I mean, it's like, I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, get your yearbooks, guys. Don't miss out. Get your yearbooks. So, let's get into some basketball. We were talking over the break. The YouTube audience got this, but... So we were just talking about the Bucks and Heat series, because, I mean, the Bucks won the other night, but they're still down 3-1. And there's no way I think the Bucks are winning the series.
They would be the first team.
They'd be the first team to come back
history.
from 3-0. So there's like probably a point-something% chance of them winning the series. And
so you're saying there's a chance?
You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Giannis is kind of banged up. I think he's gonna play tonight. I'm assuming he's playing tonight. But he's a little banged up. So
ankle injury.
Yeah. So who knows? But I think Miami's gonna close this out tonight. Yeah. It's So you can just kiss Giannis goodbye, Milwaukee. Kiss Giannis goodbye.
Especially after a 3-1, 4-1 second round exit, not a 4-3 conference finals exit or a 4-3 finals exit.
Yeah.
Those are two different things.
So I'm telling you, no one expected the Bucks to be bounced in the second round. No one predicted that. I mean, we were saying that the Heat had the best chance of any team in the East to really knock them off.
Yeah.
But we were saying that, but we didn't really believe it until we saw it. I guess.
Yeah, I was saying that's a thing. That he could probably win 2 games. Maybe they could push it to 7.
Yeah.
But not we're about to almost sweep them.
Yeah. Which good for the Heat. I mean, I'm a huge Heat fan, so good for the Heat. I mean, I hope they go all the way. Honestly.
I mean, I think they're built right.
Their organization's built right.
Shall I say
top to
they're
bottom.
built different?
Yeah. Top to bottom.
They're just built different, man.
When you have Pat Riley at the head, and then you have Eric Spoelstra, who's one of the best coaches in the league, and then you have Jimmy Butler, who's one of the best, in terms of players, in terms of commitment. Jimmy Butler is number one.
Best work ethic, yeah.
And that's very infectious to the whole group. And you have Bam Adebayo, who, some say was most improved player, although Brandon Ingram won it.
Yeah.
But Bam definitely deserved it. Bam definitely is he was an all-star this year too. So you got him, and then you got Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, rookies stepping
2
up
rookies,
big time.
yeah.
Goran Dragic, the veteran point guard, doing his thing, and Duncan Robinson shooting threes. This Heat team, man, it's just built
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got those star rookies with Hero and Nunn, and then it goes all the way to veterans with Iggy. So you got everything on there.
like, yeah, this team is basically complete in terms of like a basketball standpoint, not just of star power, I guess. Like, you wouldn't think of a Heat team as like one of the best teams in the league because they don't have like the star power, but like in terms of like basketball IQ and like just the way you play, style play, and like the type of players they have, like you have shooters, you have defenders, you have guys that can go in the paint. Like, you just have a good mix of all type of players, and they just come together well. And like I said, with good coaching and with a good front office and Pat Riley at the head, I mean, you got a recipe for a really, really good basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, you compare it to a team like Lakers or Rockets, who are supposed to play the other game that's tonight, and you look at the Lakers, if LeBron and Anthony Davis are on the court, who's on there? Same thing with the Rockets. If James Harden and Russ isn't on the court, who's on there? The thing with Heat, if Jimmy Butler isn't on there, somebody's there to take his place. If Bam is on there, somebody's there to take his place. You know, guys are there to take that. That's the thing with the Heat, is their depth is so good.
Yeah, and the thing too, the other thing was game 2. I want to say, I'll talk about it the last show, was that like I think Jimmy Butler only scored 13 points, but they had like 8 or 7 players that scored 10 points or more. That's how you win games. If you like, it's not just one guy scoring all the time. If the whole team contributes, even if it's 12 points, 13 points, if you have enough guys doing that, there's a chance you're going to win the game.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, the Heat just play with like, it's more old school in a way. Like, I feel like it's just like a grounded like basketball team.
Don't need the superstars.
Like, yeah, you can have your LeBrons and ADs. We're just gonna win without them.
Yeah, but the good thing with the Heat right now is I think they're showing the league, and this is bad for the superstars, that hey, you don't need the superstars to win.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a couple years, but you don't need to shell out the big bucks for a LeBron, for an AD, for a Giannis, even though they're one of the front runners to pick up Giannis.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if they can get Giannis, I don't know how that's going to change the dynamic of their team right now, because they are very much we don't need the superstar. We're going to roll with what we got, and we're going to win with what we got.
Yeah.
And I think if Giannis goes there, it's kind of a disruptor to that whole operation. But, I mean, I don't think any team right now would complain about getting Giannis.
Well, let's just bring this up, because we didn't bring this up last week, but Richard Jefferson tweeted out, I think after Game 2, he said something like that Giannis is more like a Pippen than a Jordan. Like, he's more of like a sidekick. Like, I don't know if I technically agree with that, but like I can see where he's coming from. Where like, but like not in terms of playing, but in terms of personality, I feel like Jimmy Butler is the alpha of that Heat team, right? He's the alpha. He's the Jordan mindset, right? Giannis goes there. Giannis, is going to be a leader on that team, but Jimmy Butler is the alpha, right? So Giannis, in terms of like locker room dynamics, he's more like the sidekick, because Jimmy Butler is the alpha personality in that locker room. There's no doubt about it. And no matter who they bring in, he's the alpha. So yeah. In that way, I kind of see it. But in terms of like him producing on the court, I think he puts up numbers like a Jordan. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that guy was talking about, like, right now he's a Pippen and he needs a Jordan, and it's like I don't know. Like, it depends on who you put him with. Like, if you put him with some random person, then of course he's gonna be the Jordan. But
yeah.
And then of course.
Yeah. So let's get to this Lakers Rockets series, because I mean the Rockets won Game 1, I believe. Yeah. Which was pretty surprising. But
you know who else won Game 1 against the Lakers? Portland.
Portland.
And they didn't win another game after that. So
yeah, but Portland, I can understand Portland. Portland should have won more games, but they were gassed and got hurt. So yeah. But Houston it's interesting. I don't know. It's like the way they play. I just don't believe they'll win unless they do. I'll believe it when I see it, type of deal. I mean, Russell Westbrook to me just doesn't fit this team. Because I don't know. He's not a shooter, and it just doesn't work for me. I don't know.
I don't know if the team. I don't know if how the Rockets have the team right now is fit for how the league is structured right now.
No.
Because right now you look at almost every single good team, and you can go through every single one of them right now, except for maybe the Clippers. They have a very good big man. You can go through the teams.
Yeah.
Los Angeles has Anthony Davis. You look at Denver with Jokic. You look at Toronto with Pascal. You look at who are we just talking about?
Heat with Bam.
Yeah, Heat with Bam. Yeah, you look at all these teams. They have a big man. Who do the Rockets have as a big man? PJ Tucker. Which credit to him, he defended Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis scored 0 points in the first game, while guarded by PJ Tucker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker's a really good defender, but it's something that I don't think he can sustain in terms of this series against AD. He can't sustain that. There's no way. But yeah, he's a good defender though. I mean, credit. I mean, look, the only problem with the Rockets is the style of play and their height. That's it. If they'd fix those two things, which I don't know why they traded Clint Capella. Clint Capella would be so good right now in this series. But you know, it is what it is.
Except he's with the Hawks, sitting down on his couch watching the games.
Hawks are gonna be good in the next couple of years. I'm telling you, Hawks are building something. I feel it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Clippers Nuggets was last night as well. Clippers won 113-107. Paul George, I think Paul George has finally come alive.
Playoff P is real now.
Yeah, he's starting to hit some shots again. He got 32 points last night. So yeah. Clippers should win this series. But it's gonna go a couple games. Clippers are up 2-1. I can see it going to 6 games or 7 games. I can see it going that far. Yeah, it's gonna be LA versus LA in the conference finals.
Probably.
And I hate to say this, but I think whoever wins that series is gonna win the championship. Because I mean, if it's the Clippers against the Heat, which would be a really good series, but like I think Clippers are a better team. And same thing with the Celtics. And, you know.
So
I don't know.
So you're predicting what I think the Celtics Raptors series is much closer than people are giving them credit for.
Yeah.
I don't even know who I would pick right now out of that. I think Celtics do have the edge. So basically what we're looking at right now is a Los Angeles Conference Finals for the West with the Clippers and the Lakers. Because I think again the Nuggets will make it close. I mean, who knows? Maybe they won't win another game. But I think the Nuggets will make it close. Clippers will barely get out. I think Lakers will win in 6. I think at most Houston will maybe win one more game.
Yeah.
So we're looking at Los Angeles Conference Finals and then
Whoever.
Heat and Celtics or Raptors. No Milwaukee in that equation, which is crazy to think.
That's crazy.
Me personally, my favorite conference finals to see would be Clippers Raptors. That would be my favorite one to see.
Just the drama because of Kawhi leaving Toronto.
Toronto's still making the finals.
Yeah, that's good drama right there. Yeah, for the show, yeah.
And of course, technically speaking, Lakers Clippers, you know, that whole rivalry thing. But I don't know. I would be more invested in a Clippers Raptors finals than a Lakers Celtics finals. That's just me.
Yeah.
Lakers would also be an interesting one.
Lakers Heat.
With LeBron coming from the Heat. But other than that, any other combination, I'm gonna just kind of like. I mean, it's the finals.
Well, Lakers Celtics would be good because like it's an old school rivalry, you know.
Yeah.
Back to the old days. That'd be a cool like throwback.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying me right now.
Yeah, compared to the other.
Well, I mean, when was the last time that either the Lakers or the Celtics was contending for a finals? You know, but
yeah,
Raptors just won the finals.
Yeah,
And then you look at arguably the reason why, which is Kawhi. Now he's with the Clippers. Has Paul George. They go to the finals. The Raptors still go to the finals without him. I think that would just be a great story.
Yeah.
Like I still think it would be a good series, but I think that would just be a great story. And if the Raptors could somehow pull that off, oh my Lord. First off, back-to-back champions. Second off, they did it without Kawhi. And third off, they did it against Kawhi. Like that would be wild.
Yeah. That'd be great for Toronto. Drake, you might have to go check on Drake.
Drake might die of a heart attack if that happens.
Yeah. So I mean, this playoffs has been a little bit unpredictable, and I kind of like it. I like the fact that Milwaukee is kind of like getting out of it because it's like you didn't expect that. Like not this early. Like you know what I mean? Like we didn't expect them to be out in the second round. Like I like the fact that you know there's still some uncertainty. Like you know, and who knows? Like I said, Nuggets could still come back and win this series. You know, Rockets. Who knows if there's?
Maybe
if there's a miracle.
I mean, that would be weird to see though, with no Los Angeles teams having a chance to make the finals. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but then the thing with that though is they're gonna find a way to discredit the championship now. Cause they're gonna be like,
we'll put an asterisk. We'll put an asterisk.
Because of the bubble, the LA teams didn't have a fair shot at blah 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 blah. That's what the narrative's gonna.
Let's put an asterisk on it.
That's what the narrative's gonna be, which I totally disagree with.
And credit to some of the guys in the bubble because they're saying no, there should not be an asterisk put on this championship. We're still having to go through playing these games, whether or not it's with the fans. Whether or not we're having to go to arenas, we're still playing the games. We're still balling
I think,
hard.
Honestly, literally, it's the best teams are winning these series. Because, like, I mean, if you think about it, like, Philadelphia, right? Say what you want about Philadelphia. They were a terrible road team. They're a terrible road team. So, like, if they were in the playoffs, like, they would lose anyway. If it was normal, you know? I think we're seeing the best teams, the mentally strong teams, win.
Yeah, honestly, I'm saying that because you're taking out the factors of traveling on the road.
Yeah.
You're taking out the factors of the fans. You're taking out those things, and it's strictly basketball, which really does show. Because you think about a guy like LeBron. LeBron probably plays better with the atmosphere, with the fans, screaming and stuff like that. You got to think he plays better under those circumstances. But now he doesn't have that, so he has to prove his stuff.
Okay, so we have some. I mean, I kind of said this already in the first segment. This is kind of breaking news, but it's kind of not. It's not that crazy. But this just in. This is from Adam Schefter, who works at ESPN.
Okay, so reliable source.
Reliable source. He said Saints and Pro Bowl running back Alvin Kamara are extremely close to lucrative contract extension.
Yeah.
I kind of said that earlier. So I do have sources. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I was right with that. No,
we can't disclose who our sources is, but just know.
I got Shefty's phone number. Don't worry about it. No, I'm kidding.
I didn't realize you were DMing him while we were having that conversation.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere. No, but yeah.
Start at the top.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just a little aside from what we were talking about. So yeah, we're just seeing the best teams win in the playoffs because there's no outside interference. It's like you got 7 games. If you can't win 4 out of 7 games, then the mentally, okay, think about this, and especially in the East. Okay, Nick Nurse just won Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, I think, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, so Nick Nurse, Coach of the Year. You have Eric Spoelstra, who's one of the best coaches in the league, period. And you have Brad Stevens, who is also a really, really good coach. Okay, I would take all 3 of those coaches to coach my basketball team before Mike Budenholzer in Milwaukee. Honest, I'm serious. No, I'm being serious here. And you look at the front offices, right? You have Danny Ainge in front office in Boston. You have Masai Ujiri in Toronto. You have Pat Riley in Miami, right? I don't even know who Milwaukee has, which is a shame on me, and I should know that, but I don't know who Milwaukee has. Those teams, to me, are mentally tough, right? Miami, mentally tough. Boston has a lot of mental tough as well. Toronto, without Kawhi and the way they play, mentally tough. Milwaukee, not really that mentally tough, all things considered. They're a really talented team, win a lot of games, but they're not mentally tough. So in this environment, the mentally tough teams are the ones that are gonna win, are gonna do good, because they're not gonna be bothered by the other stuff in the bubble, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think we're seeing what we're seeing. It's just the mental aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Milwaukee, some people have been saying Giannis's help hasn't been playing. I would argue that Giannis hasn't been playing up to snuff because you look at his help. What is his help? Chris Middleton, and if you want to say Brook Lopez, they've been showing up in the bubble. Giannis has not, and I mean, I won't say anything about the last game, and I won't say anything about this game, but first game, second game, even third game, where was Giannis?
Yeah, where was Giannis? And Giannis is defensive player of the year, doing both scored 40 points. So.
Yeah, and he might win MVP. I mean, he probably will win MVP because it's regular season. You know. So.
I think that's gonna do it for us today. I think that's a good stop point today.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too long because I'm afraid YouTube's gonna come for it. Honestly, that's my fear.
Yeah.
So we'll be back Thursday. We'll get more of a preview of the NFL season because the NFL does start Thursday. So we'll probably spend most of the show talking football more so than basketball. Although we'll get basketball in there.
Well, I mean, what games will we have? Well, the tonight's games, more than likely, the Bucks will have been kicked out by them.
Yeah.
We'll have a Lakers-Rockets game, and then a Raptors-Celtics and a Nuggets-Clippers game will have been played. So, potentially, 2 teams could be eliminated between this show and the next show.
All in the East.
All in the East.
We should have the Eastern Conference Finals.
Maybe.
So, yeah, so that's going to be Thursday. Are we doing week picks again? Are we doing that again?
Yeah.
I think we should condense it, though. I don't think we should do, all the teams. We could, I think we just pick 5 games that we're confident that we know what's going to happen, and we just, do that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, most networks just do, 5 games.
Yeah, we don't have to do every team like we did last year. That's
unfortunate.
Can we make a rule of no Saints picks? We're all just going to pick the Saints every week, so it's kind of no point.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should take probably, the top 5 most look forward games that week. But if the Saints are in there, we'll figure out the rules. You know what?
We'll figure it out.
We'll talk about it after this.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But so the picks are coming back this semester, so that's good. Yeah, I just wanted to get clear on that. So yeah, So that's gonna be the show for today. Remember, if you missed any part of the show, it will be on YouTube later tonight. Also, follow us on Instagram at Sportschat with DJ Matt 1. Remember, get your yearbooks, guys. They're in, already paid for. Just bring your criminal ID and know your Nichols number. Student Union today is September 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Also in Talbot Hall, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., room 102 in Talbot. So get your yearbooks, guys. Don't want to miss out on that, all right?
Yeah.
So this has been Sports Chat with DJ Matt. And stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you guys Thursday. Yeah.
So